Hi everybody, I'm Robin from thevibrantexperience.com, where we're all about living that fully alive, vibrant experience of life that you know is meant to be for you. And today I'm interviewing Rachel from the Virtuous Style, and we just want to encourage you on your journey, and I hope that she shares her story that will really encourage you. So Rachel, can you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Yes, thanks for coming over to my home today, Robin.
You're welcome.
It was nice to do it in person, wasn't it?
Yeah.
After all these Zoom consults and meetings. So I'm Rachel from Virtuous Style. I'm from the Yarra Valley in Melbourne, and I run an image consulting business which also helps people with personal style and wardrobe consulting and colours and that sort of thing, and you'll get to know a bit more about that as we speak. A bit about myself.
Yeah.
Yes?
Sure.
So I'm a musician. I've grown up as a violinist since I was 5, and piano since the age of 12, I think.
Wow.
I've enjoyed singing my whole life. I got married at the age of 20, and I've got 3 beautiful children, aged 16, 14, and 12. Being a mum, I don't have to say anything else. If you're a mum here, you get that. I could talk for hours about that. And I'm a wife, and I play music with my husband. We are in a duo called Highly Strung.
Wow.
So yeah, we get booked it's like our date night when we get booked to go out together. So circling back to my business, I started image consulting in 2009, and it started with the opportunity to train in colour analysis, and that came out of left field. Actually, it was quite an interesting way to start a business, especially because all I did was teach music, and I had children, so that all, but busy woman, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I just sort of took a career turn. Yeah, so it's been quite an interesting journey.
So how did that journey start to change from being like a paid employee or doing teaching to actually wanting to start your own business, because that's quite a different direction to go in?
Well, the interesting thing is that I've actually never been full-time employed. Mm-hmm. So I have always worked for myself.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So the teaching was something that you did yourself as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I have gone into schools, and there was one school that that I was employed. The other schools I was contracted in, so I had to run everything. So I was quite used to running my own business. In answer to your question, how did I start, or what made me want to go into starting my own image consulting business, really? That's what you're saying, isn't it? Well, I've always loved helping people, especially girls, especially women. And the women around me were on that same journey of life as me, I guess, from young adulthood through to raising young children. And I ran personal development courses for girls, and I just loved it. I've always loved helping women and girls see what's inside of them and learn to love that and bring it out.
Yeah.
And I did that kind of in conjunction with being a musician and raising kids. So where was I going with that?
About how you got into I'm forgetting as well. So why you chose to do the image consulting business, like why that one specifically?
It was one of those random opportunities, I think. Nothing's random, but it felt random and a bit uncanny that it fell into my lap. I saw the opportunity to train as an image consultant as solving probably 3 things for me, or it was an opportunity that on 3 levels. One, it was an opportunity to solve a problem I actually did have myself in terms of not feeling like I knew how to style myself with confidence.
Yeah.
I grew up focusing more on, I guess, character and inner virtue and personal development.
Yeah.
As like learning the violin every week for 13 years from prep to year 12, and then 4 years at uni. Like that's a lot of, what I learned about myself is that I can learn anything if I apply myself.
Yes. Yeah.
But you realize when there's a gap. So for me, I didn't put emphasis on external appearance. I didn't grow up feeling like it was important. It was more important to discover why you're on this earth and develop skills and live a life of purpose and be the best you can be. And I thought that external image might be something just a bit unnecessary to focus too much time on.
Yeah.
And that it was maybe not as deep as I felt that I liked to be. So I started my journey thinking, okay, this course could really help me, and in turn I can help other women as I go through that journey myself. Mm-hmm. And it did. I started answering this question by saying there were three opportunities.
Yes.
So that the first one was to solve a problem that I had, not feeling very confident to style myself. The second was an opportunity to work with women and to reduce my teaching workload. And a lot of my teaching of violin and piano was with children in primary schools, also some high schools or high school age. They'd come to my home. But I do remember quite distinctly the day that I was sitting in a teaching room teaching a student piano, and I caught myself glazed looking out the window. And the student, I loved all my students. However, if you've got a child who learns an instrument, you might relate to this. They sometimes turn up week after week not having progressed, no practice. And I thrive on achievement myself, and I just wanted to see my students thrive on achievement too, and just get a bit stuck. So I caught myself imagining having a coffee with a woman over a table like this. That was what was in my head. I want to work with women.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was like 2 weeks later, I got this phone call.
Wow.
Inviting me to do this course. It was, one of those.
One of those things where the timing was spot on.
So that was the second one, was the opportunity to reduce my teaching and start working with women at an adult level, because as a mum, children are becoming your world as it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I want to be adult again.
Yeah.
So that was the second reason. And the third opportunity I saw training to me was an opportunity to develop new skills and grow as a person. So it aligned with my values of educating, growing, informing, getting knowledge, and being practical. Even though I'm a creative, I'm very practical, and I didn't feel creative with my clothing.
Wow.
So that's the main, the third kind of thing that pops to my mind.
I think it's interesting that you say it was also about growth. I think as human beings, we have this drive to grow, and it's also part of what makes life really fulfilling and stimulating when you are growing and you are moving things forward. And even just doing something new is exciting as well, isn't it? You're learning a new skill, and moving something forward is really exciting.
And I get bored if I'm not doing something new. And maybe that's the problem. A problem as well. As an entrepreneur, as a creative, I think we're all a bit left-brained and right-brained. We often put the creatives into the right-brain category, but I love that I can bring a bit of a methodical, scientific approach to the table with my clients, because I felt like I had to learn styling that way myself.
Okay.
A little bit, give me the method. And I just loved it, how the colour analysis and the figure analysis and all these random words that what's that, really, really helped me grow. And just touching on what you said about the personal growth and the personal development side of things, I was just so mind blown at how discovering my style through colour and body shape and personality really did speed up a discovery of who I am through an outside-in means.
Right. Wow. It's not often you hear that word outside in. We're always hearing it's all about the inside out.
Yeah.
So what did that mean for you, outside in?
Oh, it blew my mind that I'd been missing out on outside in transformation. Because you and I were about transformation. I loved transformation. And always believed in inside out. You love who you are on the inside. It's going to show on the outside. And that's still 100% true.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't get our acceptance from the outside. However, I think that when you are who you are, if you don't know how to express it through the body that you've been given, through your wardrobe, we have to wear clothes. We're stifling who we are to the world, and we're not letting others see who we are.
I love that.
So I think that our clothing can show people who the wonderful us inside that we are loving and learning to love, and it can speed up that self-love process and journey and discovery and confidence and so much more transformation and character development that comes just by knowing what clothing to choose. I mean, how random is that?
I love that.
Yeah.
I know, like, in the past for me, when I've heard about image consulting, I think of it as being like, I'm working in a business and I've got a certain image I want to present and it's got to look professional and that kind of thing. But what I love about your heart is image is actually about being more authentically you, and it's about expressing who you are through your colors, through your clothing. It's not about trying to be somebody else. It's about empowering you to be fully yourself and expressing yourself in that way.
Totally, it is. And I think beauty is inside all of us, and sometimes we just need to learn. We need guidance and coaching in how to let that show with authenticity.
Yeah.
So it's image consulting. I mean, it's not, yes, image is, you can look at it, it's two sides to the coin. I mean, perception in business image coaching, I do talk about how we are perceived by others.
Sure.
And I think it's important when you are on a mission to succeed in your passion and your business, that you are aware of how you come across sometimes. But we don't want to live in fear of that either.
Yeah.
And the solution is just being authentic. So knowing that you're putting your best foot forward, but it's your foot.
Yes.
It's not someone else's. I've never said that before. Putting who you are forward, embracing your individuality.
Yeah.
And that being true to yourself in business and in being a woman, and not being in fear of the judgments of others. I do get clients come to me who they actually have no idea. They're like, I'm choosing what I love, and I just love comfort. So I'm wearing comfortable clothes even in business settings.
Right.
And it's all about comfort. And I do think we can become addicted to comfort. And it's good that these clients come and go, well, what can I do? How am I being perceived? Because it could be detrimental to their business if their image is out of alignment with their personal goals, where they need to know.
Yeah.
So there's so many thoughts running through my mind.
I love that. I love what you said about it's about putting your foot forward, because it's so easy to walk in where you're mostly you, or maybe you're showing up as somebody else, or you've got old records in your head saying that you're not enough, or that you're not valued, or that your personality's to this or to that. But I really believe that the only way that you can really enjoy that full life, as well as being fully yourself, as you shop fully yourself, you feel good, you feel like you're in that flow, you've just been you. And something my life coach tells me, and because I've been getting some life coaching lessons, and she says, other people's opinion of me is none of my business. So sometimes a bit easier said than done, but that's something I've been keeping in mind, is other people's opinions of me are none of my business.
Yes.
And also another thing that I've been really learning too is that other people's behaviour is theirs. So I'm not responsible, and it's not my fault how other people choose to respond or behave.
Yeah.
And so keeping those kind of things in mind can really help you be a bit more you, and not be doing it from this perspective of, I've got to be worried about how they might respond, or worried about, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
And I remember a defining moment of learning that how someone else feels and their reaction to you, or their opinion, or how you make them feel, or the fear that comes up when you tell them what you're doing with your business. And I'm a big thinker, and I think I can scare people, right?
Yeah.
So that I feel like last year during COVID, that was something that just embedded a bit more deeply through engaging a coach and desiring that personal development. And that moment when I realised only I can be in charge of myself. I can only control who I am.
Yeah.
And I can't live miserable about everything around me and the needs I'm seeing in my family, and own that, like as though there's no separation between me and them. So yeah, that was a lesson for me, like you, Robin, last year, in realizing that that's their thing. That's, their reaction. That's theirs.
Yeah.
It's not me, and it doesn't have to be a reflection of me.
Yes.
Sometimes it is, because sometimes we project, but yeah, I think sitting back on it just gave me a bit more peace, and I can hold onto that peace when there's this emotional people around me.
Yeah.
And I don't have to just be dragged through that.
Yeah.
So I bring that up because as a business owner, I'm guessing that there'll be women watching this who are thinking about starting a business and haven't, or you are starting it and you have to deal with those people around you. It's, the closest people in your life having their opinion and sharing it with you about what you're doing. That can be really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a big step in believing in yourself and really believing. Like, I think that we all have gifts on our lives, and we have a destiny on our lives, and it's really, we're the only ones that really know our heart and what's that those things that we have in, I don't know, those things that are just sitting there that you feel like you're designed to do. Yeah, it takes a bit of unpacking, but it's kind of like, as you be brave and take that step out to start walking that journey, it starts to unpack and to unfold.
And I'm as you're speaking, I'm just thinking that the message that I wish I could give myself when I started this journey was, and is for you watching, is you be the one to believe in yourself. You be the one to see your own heart and validate it, because we seek validation, and that can slow us down on our business journey. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think any business idea is silly. And don't let anyone tell you it is. Yeah. It can be tweaked, it can be developed, you can brainstorm, and it can sharpen as you go along. And it does. It can be fuzzy, it can be clear. It doesn't matter. It's believe in it and just keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Yeah.
I think all of us have an amazing capacity to figure things out. Like we've been to school, we know we're capable of learning new skills. So I think that even in your case, in my case, and anyone start going out in business, is that as you go along, you learn and you grow and you get better at it, and you don't stay in that beginning stage. Like you do get to that stage where you become more confident, and but it can be a bit scary going through that initial stage. Yeah. How did you find it when you were just at the very beginning stages of getting your business going? Was it daunting, or were you kind of really engaged?
I think of two beginnings for me. So the beginning I shared before was when I trained, the start of my training and starting my own little business in colour analysis, and I got really excited. I wasn't afraid at that start. Okay. And I would lie awake at night dreaming about how I would present to the women at the home colour party that I was doing the next day, and I loved it. The fear came when I took over the business that trained me.
Wow.
So fast forward from 2009 to 2015, I think it was. And that was, I felt like I was in really, really deep water. Part of it was because the woman who was leaving me her legacy, I mean, she passed away in the transition.
Oh, wow.
So and so I was left going, oh my gosh, you haven't trained me entirely yet.
Wow.
This system that you have developed is so amazing. I can't let it pass with you, right? This business is like I adopted, and I was raising her baby, and I loved it so much that I'm jumping in, but it was so deep. Wow. I was so alone and trying to tread carefully with her on her, she was sick, and I needed to know things. I needed to pick her brains, and she thought she was going to get well, and so she'd withhold things from me. That was really hard.
Yeah.
Wow. and then having it set up like, the business structures, company, family trusts. Hers was a non-profit, so then I had to open a new non-profit organisation, incorporation. It was all above, and beyond me. So I needed my husband. I needed her husband to and they kind of just helped set things up. Yeah. But it was bigger than me. It was built for my future.
Future Rachel.
Yes, and it's taken me years to catch up and learn all those things that I shut my brain off to that felt hard.
Yeah.
I've had to just face all those things, the bookkeeping, the business structures, the tax, the legal stuff. I know. Yeah. And I think that I needed to start learning to empower myself more earlier on. I'm at peace with my journey, but I think if I sort of started accepting that I could take the reins and not feel a bit powerless because I was relying on someone else or my husband or whatever to do something I didn't want to do and didn't know how to do, then it wouldn't happen. I had to start learning all those things myself, and before then redelegating and finding the experts. I had to find my own accountant, my own bookkeeper, my own, and give myself permission to do that and not feel like I had to do it all.
Yeah.
So
part of running a thriving business is also creating a team around you to support that journey.
Yeah, and knowing when to do that is hard because there are times when we have to do everything ourselves because there isn't the funds to employ. And when do you employ?
That's me right now, guys.
And my business coach says you need to employ earlier than you think you need to.
Okay. And is that so that it helps you with your growth?
No,
as a business, or just so...
If you wait till you've got an annual salary to pay someone or evidence of it, you probably never will. But the thing is that when you expand, the sooner you expand, there's a bit of maybe pay yourself a little bit less. But the thing is then you set yourself up to grow because you've got the extra human resource to be able to grow and set up systems to make more money and then you can grow because of them.
Yeah.
And with it, if you give yourself just, a few months rather than a whole year, then you can, if you know your figures, there's that other daunting thing, your numbers.
Know your numbers.
Do you know your numbers? Yeah.
Yeah, so, sure.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
awesome. No, thanks for sharing that. I really appreciate that. It was really vulnerable and it's really encouraging to hear your journey that is coming out the other side of all of that, and that it is possible to do that.
Yeah, it's like I can't breathe. Even when I talk about it, I'm like, am I all flushed now?
Do you feel all the emotions that come with that season that you went through?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And it's worth it if you face, this is not the right word, face your demons. Like
face those challenges, all the things that you're not so
the things in yourself. It all comes back to you, and we hate that as women. If you think about your family as well and the people that rely on you, it's like, you get told, the state of the family is it's all emanates from the woman's heart. The mother sets the tone. It's like, no, can't someone else set the tone? Can't I just fall in a heap and that be okay and everyone else be all right? Like, it's just,
Can't you just have like a moment that you can...
Can I just not be okay and not set the scene? Can someone take over that role, please? So it's not easy, but I think it's just the grit. You do need to have grit. You need to, I think, see scary things as opportunities, not hurdles.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if
that's actually a really good way of looking at it, because it's much more positive. When you see something as an opportunity, you're kind of like, I want to grab that. How do I fight for that? And how do I make that happen?
Yeah.
Or if you're looking at something at a hurdle, it's just like, that's too big. I'm not going to...
Yeah.
How am I going to survive that? How? Your self-talk changes around it.
It's an opportunity to grow and to become better and to solve a problem you've never solved before.
Yeah.
That's all business is solving day after day, minute after minute, solving problems that you've never solved before. So you never feel really great at it. Because you're always going, okay, the moment you solve something and achieve something, you're like, okay, right, what's next? Because I don't know, I think the mind of an entrepreneur is to just keep growing, bigger and better, keep going, what's
Yeah.
next.
I think we're designed for that too.
Yeah.
Do you know, for that growth?
Yeah.
So shifting topic slightly, we have touched on it a little bit, but you're doing a business, but you're also a mum as well. So how does that play out? Like, how do you do both at the same time? And I'm sure it's a juggle as well with everything happening as life happens.
It's hard. I think it always is hard. I think how I do it is I have to let myself off the hook for lots of things, accept a lot of things, and learn that I can't control things, let go, and be okay with not having dinner ready. Be okay with mess, because I think we can become a slave if we need that perfection all the time. It's hard because we know having beautiful surroundings is sewing in. It helps our psyche and our mindset in order to work, especially if you work from home.
Yeah.
However, you need the ability, when you want to call upon it, to ignore that and still keep achieving and hitting goals, kicking goals.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome.
I also think that we need to love ourselves, because as a mum, we put off doing things for ourselves, and I'm a big cheerleader of women, just investing into themselves, and we can love those around us to the extent that we love ourselves. And I think that we think that sacrificial love is, it's, we can become a bit too much like a martyr, and not show sacrificial love for ourselves as well.
Yes, that's true.
So I think it's important, and that's a lot of clients who come to me as well. They're at that stage of, I'm ready to invest in me, and it comes through clothing and color analysis, or a styling session, shopping, makeup. So just look at what is your definition of sacrificial love if you're a mum, and because you'll be challenged by that all the time, when to say no, and that be okay, because you're showing love to yourself, even if the other person, your child, your partner, feels like what's changed, you always put me first, and feel offended. That's their thing.
Yeah 100%.
So it's not easy, but we can get there. We can definitely do it. We have to be strong and compassionate to ourselves. And stay soft of heart, because I don't know, people in families challenge us and push our buttons.
That's very true. I think it's just the nature of it when you're in close quarters with people. And you know each other really well. That's right. We can love them to bits, but if we love ourselves to bits as well, we can get through. And we're not often very good at that. Balance of both. So now that you're on the other side of, well, I guess you're always still growing and always still learning, but now that you've got your business up and running and you're feeling more confident with it, one, do you feel like it was worth it? And two, how's it changed things in life for you? Has it made you feel more engaged with life, and more that your life is really starting to shine in a way that you're really wanting it to go? I guess. I think it's an interesting question. On the other side of what? It's like the other side of starting. Sorry. I should be more clear with that.
No, I love the question. I am loving. What do I love now? I feel a sense of satisfaction when I see the hard years of work come to something and help people, and when I realise that sometimes the months and the days and months and years of time that passes by, and you can feel like you're in Groundhog Day, have built to something, and I don't realise how much experience and rich experience really that comes out of me when I'm with someone, and I go, oh wow, because you can forget what it's like to be a beginner, or if you've got a client who doesn't know what you know. I discover, wow, those years, it's like a crash course, but a deep one. It's not going to uni to learn something. It's not theory. It comes out of you.
Yeah.
So it's
awesome.
real genuine help, and you can meet clients where they're at and solve their problems because you've put your hand to the plow. You've said yes to those things and those opportunities with new clients that scare you because you've never done them before. So saying yes all those years to new things, and saying yes but not knowing how you're going to do it, and then working it out as you go, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I love that.
Now I can document all that. I can train people to do what I've done because I've said yes to so many things.
Yeah.
And maybe the thing that I think before all this, I might be digressing, but I think it relates,
Sure.
is because I've grown up performing as a violinist and just in groups, and I grew up in church, and on Sundays I play, and so you get used to being in front of an audience. I remember realising that I loved being given challenges.
Okay.
And I think that if someone said, hey, can you please get up and speak in front of 1 million people tomorrow, I would say yes.
Wow.
And I was kind of baffled, going, this is strange. It was good, but on the other hand, that thought came to me when I realised I was wearing lots of hats, and I was starting to get burnt out doing too many things. So I was saying yes to too many things.
Right.
So because I'm like, I love a challenge, you can also love new and shiny objects.
Yeah.
And so my challenge was staying focused and staying the course, and balance, not getting burnt out, using wisdom, not just going, there's another opportunity to grow. It's like, oh my gosh, just finish what you started, Rachel. No, I don't remember the question you just asked me, why I said all that, but it's something about the other side now.
Yeah.
I don't need to go saying yes to everything. And I've had to apply that character trait of, okay, be fearless. Doesn't mean you don't feel fear, just means say yes anyway.
Yeah. That's what courage is.
Yeah.
It's like stepping out. If you're feeling nervous or anxious about something or afraid, but then you still step out and do it, that's implementing courage.
So
that's huge.
Yeah, I guess I've been able to apply that developed through school and music studies to business and people and clients and packages and business development and networking and running a business from home and employing. Like it's quite a journey.
So Rachel, what drives you to do what you do? What's your why behind what you're doing?
That's a big question, but I am very driven. I am very purpose driven. And if I didn't have a big why, I just don't think I'd do anything. I don't know. Maybe.
That's true though. I think it's a really important part.
Yeah.
To like when it gets tough, why do you want to keep going? Yeah.
Well, one of the things that's really fulfilling for me is this concept of design and art and creating, and seeing the designer behind the design, and just the inherent beauty and extraordinary value of something in the design of it. I don't know if I'm making sense. Like we're sitting at a table that was designed and made, and we get to enjoy it.
That's true.
And imagine if the designer knew that the table that the carpenter made from the concept in the designer's mind, how it's being used. And every invention in this world that a human comes up with and designs and makes has a purpose, and the user gets the joy. And so I feel like what drives me is this concept of colour. I call myself a colour stylist, and all of my wardrobe and shopping and styling coaching is based on I feel like a scientific connection of colours with the individual, and no two people are the same. So I get to show my clients their individual eye colour out of all my hundreds of swatches of colours, their hair tone and their skin tone. And before even building a wardrobe of colours that harmonise with that, it's we get to really celebrate that canvas, that unique starting point.
Yeah.
And to me, this is my personal thing, is I get really excited. It's like I'm on a mission to see evidence of design and uniqueness and just how extraordinary everyone is, because no two people are the same.
Yeah.
It's that uniqueness that, I don't know, do you love uniqueness?
Yes, 100%. It's partly what I'm all about, is being able to be authentically you, is being uniquely you. So you're not going to match any mold. You're not going to be like anybody else.
Yeah.
But you're going to be so beautiful just as you are.
Yeah, so
how you're designed to be, how you know, how God's made you.
I just think there's treasure in our DNA, and I get to show people that.
Yes.
And that treasure is you, and you know, your colours and your unique body frame, regardless of weight, your unique personality, and marry that up, and then teach people how to express all of those things through their wardrobe. And so the inherent essence of who we are shines.
Yes.
So
it's amazing.
We can express ourselves through our wardrobe authentically.
Yeah.
And we are a walking, talking design.
That's true. I never thought of it in that.
We are a design.
Yeah. And
I don't know if we think about that. We don't think about ourselves. I look at myself in the mirror each day. Wow, look at this beautiful design. Oh.
Maybe we should.
Oh. Do we get the joy out of appreciating ourselves? So, excuse me.
That's all right.
It's kind of funny. We enjoy inventions around us. We enjoy makeup and nail polish, or if you're not a girly girl, like I wasn't a girly girl, I was more of a tomboy, and I've developed, I've grown, but if you know, we don't necessarily look at ourselves and appreciate ourselves the way that we could in the mirror. Yeah. So my why is helping clients celebrate that, and I see evidence of grand divine design behind you as a creation, and even if you don't, we can still, that's okay. There'll be little revelations of self-love along the way with my clients, and you know, I show them how to let that shine.
Wow.
What's your designer label? You know, it's not, you get a Gucci handbag, there's a designer label. Like, what's ours? And we all have different beliefs about that, but I guess I just get excited. Oh, you know, what's on your label?
I like that. What's my designer label? You know? That's really unique. It's unique to every person.
It's your own name. Like, you can fill in the blank there, but we don't think of it like that. So I just see art when I look at a person. I'll stop rambling. Yeah, I think you get it.
That's really encouraging. I think that each one of you has so much value and so much uniqueness, and you are your own work of art in your own right. Yeah. And there is a designer label just for you, that it's not for anybody else. And I just want to encourage you with that you are valuable, that you are enough, and you are beautiful in your own uniqueness.
Yeah. So it's been lovely chatting. I mean, I'm sure that if we kept going, you'd dig out so many more things. We talk and talk.
We could probably talk for hours over here.
Yeah.
But I just want to thank you for coming and sharing a little bit of your story. If any of you guys are interested in getting an image consult with Rachel and with her company, did you want to share your website or how they can get in touch with you to do that?
Yeah. Just call me. No, probably shouldn't give my number's on the website. Website is www.virtuousstyle.com.au, and we've got a Facebook page. We can pop that up, Instagram, and email. You can email me direct. Very welcome. Rachel, Rachel, at virtuousstyle.com.au, and Virtuous Style has the 2 S's in the middle.
Okay.
Style,
I'll put that up on the screen below, and I'll also put the links in the description box under the video on my YouTube channel, The Vibrant Experience, so you can pop on there and click the links there to access Rachel's website. So I just want to thank you all for coming and joining us with our cuppa and our chat. And if you really enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up like button, and if you'd like to see more videos like this come through, just click on subscribe. We'd love to have you here as part of the Vibrant Experience family. So thank you for joining us. Bye everybody.
Thanks. Bye.